everyone, it's Charlotte from Cyberbanity, and thanks for tuning in. I'm going to try to teach you how I painted my patio furniture. It's a little buggy out here, so apologies if I'm swatting. But let's start. It's super simple. I promise you can do it, and I keep saying to everyone, it gets way worse before it gets better. So here's what you need. The most important part of painting any sort of furniture or upholstery fabric is you need fabric medium. This is what's going to keep your paint nice and smooth and soft so that it won't be all crunchy and crackly on your fabric. So you need fabric medium. We're going to dilute this, and then of course your paint. This is just regular old latex paint, and the goal of painting any sort of fabric or upholstery is that you want the paint to soak into the fabric. That's important. So it's different than painting furniture where you want to make sure the paint stays on top. We want our paint to soak right in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get any old plastic container. I just shook up my paint pretty well. I'm just using, this is Bare Ultra. This is called Night Flight is the color. And we're going to mix 1 part paint to 1 part fabric medium to 1 part water. That's what I've found works. If you look online, there's probably other formulas, but the way I do it is I start with my fabric medium and I pour this in. This is 8 ounces. For my entire couch, I probably used maybe 3 of these. So you're gonna do a lot of coats. So that's 8 ounces. This has measurements on it, so I'm going to add my paint. So now I have 8 ounces of paint that's right in there. And then 8 ounces of water. If you have a cup that doesn't have measurements, here's a little tip. What I've done is sometimes I'll take a sharp knife and I'll just cut the mouth off of this, and then I can use this bottle to help me measure, because I know I have 8 ounces of fabric medium. So now I have that in there. We're gonna mix this up really well. If you have a lid, that actually helps, because then you can just shake it. But I'm gonna go get a paint stirrer and I'm gonna mix that up. Hang on. So this is what I'm gonna paint for you today. This is an old cushion. It used to match, it's dirty, and it's outdoor fabric. You need a squirt bottle. Any squirt bottle will do. And again, remember, our goal is to saturate this fabric with paint. We don't want the paint to sit on top. We want the paint to soak right in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna liberally squirt this. I mean, it's not dripping off, but I want this fabric, I want the water to be pretty well soaked in. Now, here's my paint mixture. Do you notice that the paint is soaking right into the fabric? That's what you want. Remember when I said it gets worse before it gets better? I would say for the couch cushions, I probably gave them anywhere between 10 and 20 coats. So just trust your gut. I'm using a navy, and it means that until it gets really saturated, it sort of looks purple, and that's definitely not what I want. But again, just hang in there. All of a sudden you'll look up and you'll realize that you're dealing with navy cushions and not some sort of lavender. And if you do this on a sunny day, it'll dry pretty quick. So I just had, when I did my couch cushions, I just had them out on the grass, and I would go out and I'd give them a squirt. The paint goes on really fast. And I always forget to wear gloves, you guys. So my hands will be probably blue for the next week. But this would be a good project to grab some latex gloves for, because you do end up with a lot of paint. It's really drippy. And again, that's exactly what I want. Okay. So let's give this a little bit to dry, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how the other coats look. Okay, so this is dried. You see what I mean? It looks terrible. It looks so bad, but you just gotta hang in there. You just gotta trust your gut and go with it. So, same thing for the second coat. You just give it a coat of water. And you can see the water saturating it. And again, you don't want puddles, but you want the whole thing to be very damp. And then stir up your paint. You see how it's still soaking in? And you don't have to be neat with it. With my cushions, there were some drips, and I've had to go over and cover those. So I guess that's the only thing I would say, is that you want to be pretty liberal with the paint, but just give it a peek to make sure there aren't drips everywhere. Now, I'm very lazy when I do these projects, so I didn't do this next step, but I think a lot of people will tell you to do this next step. If you take some fine sandpaper to the fabric between coats, it actually does smooth it out very quickly. I didn't find my patio furniture to be particularly rough, quite honestly, and I think it's because this outdoor fabric is already a little tough. I also think that my paint is so watered down that there's just not a lot that's accumulating. But if you feel like it's really getting tough for you between coats, then all you do is take a fine grained sandpaper and you literally sand the paint and sand the fabric, and it should soften up a little bit for you. And it was about 6 coats, which is not bad at all. And it took maybe an afternoon, so for under $30, I was able to get 7 matching cushions. You can't beat that cost. If you go to any store to find a set of patio cushions, you're gonna be well in the hundreds. I couldn't be more thrilled.